Hey folks, happy Saturday evening. I hope all is well in your world. Got a little bonus stream. We've already done one here today, but wife's at the movies, grandkids in bed, and I figured what the heck, let's get the Duke out. We uh, haven't flown the Beach Duke 60 in a while, and I wanted to test out another not free, another new airport from the Seattle Airports X. So we're going to fly today from Troutdale in Washington up to Boeing Field. And 100 miles or so in the Duke won't take long. And at the same time, I want to do something that we talked about doing last night, and that is I want to compare flight planning a little bit here. Since the flight's not going to be that long, I thought maybe we could take just a couple of minutes and okay, first thing I'm going to do is hop in the cockpit here. Maybe just compare how the uh, the two tools that I commonly use, SkyVector and Navigraph, would chart this route. And so let's do that because I really don't know. I'd like to fly IFR, I guess. VFR would be an okay choice, but you're not going to get an auto route in terms of a VOR flight plan. So as I look at this route, pretty much straight north, and if I'm flying, I've got the low airways on. It looks like a guy could probably come pick up, what is that, Battleground VOR. Oops, it's wanting to take me. Okay, yeah. So now, all right. Here's the auto function. There really is no route from Troutdale to Boeing Field because it's just not that well traveled. But it looks like it's having me take the. I think this is the Olympic or the Olympia 2, and that's okay for us. This is not an RNAV approach. It's something we can do. Yep, Battleground up to Olympia, and then into the Fort intersection, and then you're probably going to get one way or the other here, depending on where you're going. Um, I don't know. We have ATC, so that's also why I picked this because I really don't know if you would come around here to the Boeing field or if you would. I know this is what SeaTac uses, and so I don't know if a guy could extend the downwind and peel off. I don't know. We're gonna find out. But okay, so that's the auto route here. I've got the same thing set up here in the Navigraph charts. Let's see what we're just gonna say auto generate. Let's see what it gives us. And all right, so this is a slightly different route. It looks like instead of coming up here and shooting it in on the angle, yep, and I got the low routes here. It takes us to Battleground again, and then we grab the Victor. What is that? 495. So a slight different routing. I mean, I don't know again what's better, what's worse. This takes us right over Seattle Tacoma International, and so yeah, I'm not sure how kosher that is, but and I'm not sure if this is an arrival. Let's take a look here. No, that doesn't look like an arrival. That just looks like direct too. So it's actually skipped the arrival portion, and again, it gives you a suggestion for the Olympia 2, and yeah, I think honestly in this case, SkyVector's plan is a little bit better. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add this to our routes. We'll insert it after Battleground, and then for us, we have to, again, it seems like, oh, wait a second, I thought we were up here. Now we were looking at, okay, so we're gonna pretty much follow. There's a little bit of a bend in the road right here. I don't know what that is, but it's pretty much the same route. All right, so that'll be what we fly, and yeah, I think that's how we'll file that as well. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put that into the vPilot here. We're going to fly Bravo Tango Golf. Then we're going to fly Oscar Lima Mike. And I'm going to kind of leave it at that. I'm going to let them decide. No, I take that back. I'm going to go ahead and put that we're going to try to fly that approval, that approach, and get that ready to go here. Troutdale to Boeing Field. No alternate today. Honestly, we probably would just come back to Troutdale. We're not very far away. We're going to say it's an hour. This is saying 37 minutes actually, so hang tight. I don't know what I was thinking with an hour. We'll put, I think we'll have 2 hours of fuel in there. Cruise speed 180, and our flight level today, let's see, what can I be at? 4,000, 6,000. Looks like 6,000 is going to be our boy. Not seeing anything higher than that, so we'll say 6,000, and we will get ready to connect. We have not yet connected to vPilot. November 626 November, and we are a BE60 Beechcraft Duke 60. Okay. Downwind Sim. He's making an appearance. Hello, sir. Good to see you. Hope your evening is going as well as mine. I understand there was a little bit of pie in your evening, so maybe your evening was even a little bit better than mine. Yeah, we're doing some flight planning, and again, you have to understand, I'm just a simmer. I'm just a hobbyist. I'm just a guy that copies other guys that know more about things than I do. So this is probably got a few issues, but you know, for the most part, it gets us in the air, and that's what's important. So okay, like I say, we have some ATIS for Portland. Portland is right next to us. The apple pie was delicious. Yeah. The grandson and I, we had some Otter Pops tonight, so you know, we got it all sugared up before he went to bed, because that's what papas do, right? Okay, calm day, cloudy, overcast at 7,000, so we should be, for the most part, underneath the cloud layer, which is good, because I want to give you a little view. The Portland city scenery is pretty awesome, and so I want to be able to show you that. All right, let's get this beast fired up. Okay, we don't need any of this on just to start. Prop sync off. All this stuff is turned off. Panel lights can come on. Actually, I need to leave my beacon on. Okay, everything is looking good. We'll hit the recall. Those are all looking good. What's this little light up here? Vacuum low, because we don't have any power. Okay, I think we're ready. We're going to start pump 1. Watch that guy pressurize. Okay, good deal. Ignition on. Starter on. We're going to let this thing get up to about 12 to 15 and bring our lever up to low idle. Looking for a hot start or a hung start. Boy, we just about had a hot start there. And we are high RPM. Oh, hey, high RPMs. I just hit the wrong thing. Probably not bad. We had a real high RPM there. I don't know what the deal was. Let's try that again. Let that spin down. Those hot starts are like immediate engine overhaul, I guess, in the real world, so you don't want that. Okay. Fuel pump's on, ignition is on, starter engaged. Let's make sure we hit the right key this time. There we go. That sounds much better. Portland, the city of bridges. I didn't know that was the nickname of it, but I can certainly see why. Make sure the airflow is high enough for adding fuel. Yeah, they recommend letting that spin up to about between 12 and 15. Maybe I went a little too early on that. Okay, ignition to auto. Gen is coming on. That pump can come off. Pump 2, or pump 1, excuse me, we'll do the same thing. Auto ignition and starter coming on. I don't know why it says 12 to 15, because it kind of tops out at 13. That's interesting. Yeah, I've never been to Portland. It looks like a pretty cool place, honestly. The whole Pacific Northwest looks pretty amazing, really. And I have not had the privilege. Okay, that looks like it's stabilizing. Torque is coming up. ITT, it looks good. And all that stuff is looking pretty good. Okay, so ignition to auto. Gen is on. Pump is off. Go ahead, we'll turn the inverter and the master power on, and we'll kind of get all this stuff ready to rock and roll. We will not be using, as always, we're going to file slant alpha. Did I file slant alpha? What did I file? Yes, slant alpha. So we're going to just have this for a decoration right now, and we're going to see if we can hit our VORs. Troutdale is a pretty straightforward airport. We're parked here at the GA, one of the GA spots, and guessing that we're going to just take runway 25. That's generally the approach that you come. I mean, I've flown in here twice, but that's generally the direction that you're heading, because the wind is usually coming off the ocean there from the west. So that's what we will look at doing. We're gonna crank our altitude up here. We said 6,000 is what we're gonna file. This is a this is a towered airfield. This has a ground and a tower, and Portland departures also what we use here. So I don't have departure online. I have Portland Tower, but I think we will have to use Seattle Center, which is 124.2. Hopefully downwind this is going to be a little smoother than the VOR navigation in the Greasy 8, which I don't know if I'd have made it without you. He was, if you didn't watch last night's sim, Downwind was with us in the co-pilot seat and helping us out. link to some stuff to do. I'll check that out here in just a minute. We'll get airborne and plan on at least 2 weeks. Yeah, I mean, I think a guy could just go up and down that coast and see, I mean, just all kinds of stuff. Oceans to mountains to redwood forests to big cities. Yeah, I think it's a place to go, no doubt about it. All right, altimeter 3008. We have it set already. Don't know how that happened, but we'll take it. 24.2. Do we have that dialed in yet? No, we do not. We need to go get our clearance and just make sure everything is copacetic here. And I have not filed it yet, so let me file that real quick. Give center a chance to look at it, and we will be on our way. We're pretty well ready to rock and roll. Simple plane to set up, and so much fun to fly. I think without a doubt my favorite GA aircraft right here. Was so happy that it ported from FSX over to P3D. About the time that I was making the move to P3D is when Real Air kind of went under, and so I thought this was just going to be one of those planes that I would never be able to fly again. So it was really, really nice to be able to bring it over, and it's worked well all the way up to 4.5.
Alaska 837, contact Seattle 125.6. 25.6 for Alaska 837.
Okay, let's make our call and see what Center has to say. Seattle Center, good evening. Duke 626 November. We're on the ground Troutdale. Would like to pick up IFR clearance to Boeing Field.
Duke 626, Duke 216 November, Seattle Center. Busy Boeing Field Airports via radar vectors. Maintain 3,000, expect 6,000. Departure frequency 124.2. Squawk 66273.
Clear to Boeing Field, radar vectors. We'll maintain 3,000, expect 6,000. Departure frequency with you, Squawk 6673, Duke 262 November. I messed up my call sign. It should be 626.
And Duke 262 November, radar vectors battleground is
Okay. Okay, thanks. Radar vectors battleground. First 262 November. Yeah, I'm going to screw that up all night long. All right, well, so be it. Okay, so let's
262 November, correct, 1025 for departure, whether it is taxi, see weather.
Okay, 25 for departure, we'll call you for taxi. 262 November. Almost want to disconnect.
2091 heavy. Honestly, I don't know if I'm doing anything service-wise with you. I gotta get out of Troutdale probably shortly here, and you're calling it about a snail's pace.
All right. Here is already one comparison that I'm going to make, and I'm not going to say one's better than the other, because there's lots of positives for both and a few negatives for both. But one thing right now that I like about SkyVector is you get this initial heading out of there, so at least gives you an idea of where you should be going. Now, once you hit the airways, you get 329, you get all that, but this non-airway heading stuff, it comes in handy. So that's one, I guess, mark for SkyVector. We're just going to give ourselves a little bit of a...
Contact 2191, I don't know, you're looking maybe better now, I don't know. I mean, you've gone about 10 miles in Oh God, I'm like probably the last 10 minutes.
I'm going to have to turn this
a mile a
on.
minute.
Wait a second. I may have to turn that on to get to the...
Oh
no, there we go. Yep. All right. Oh, Connie disconnected. Okay, let's see. We do need to put in battleground, which is 116.6. And we'll get the vectors to it when we're heading out. So yeah, not too worried about being exactly right on the money just this second. But okay, I think we're going to be hanging a right and try to sneak out here. If not, we probably could just go around. We have enough room this way as well. Yeah, in fact, maybe we'll do that. The runway is right behind us, and yeah, we might be okay. This thing turns on I'd be pretty nervous actually if I was taxiing this baby for real. We'll get it turned around. We'll call center.
2647 to send you the timbers to arrival.
And we'll be ready to go.
3009.
Brakes are off.
Send via timbers to arrival 3009.
Taxi, please. Nav lights, strobe. And I'm guessing there's a way to get in down there. Oh. Alright, let's hang tight right here. Short of Alpha. Give center a call. Center Duke 262 November is ready for taxi. We have the weather. Calm.
Duke 262 November, runway 25 taxi via Alpha.
25 via Alpha, 262 November. Yeah, see, I'm going to mess that up all night long. All night long. 262, 262, 262. Funny how that happens. Alright, let's get rolling down here. Set a notch of flaps for takeoff. We are not going to do our run up. We're just going to get up in the air here and check out Pacific Northwest at dusk. By the way, if you shoot straight north here up the gorge, the Columbia River Gorge is one amazing flight. There's been a couple of GA sort of fly-ins that this airspace has hosted, and one of them went right down this gorge, and it was just a phenomenal deal. We did it in the de Havilland Beaver. We hit a couple sandbars. There's like a dam, power plant dam that's just right upriver here, and then the approach into here is just phenomenal. So highly recommend it if you are looking for a place to fly. Okay, I think we are ready to go. Center Duke 262 November, holding short 25, ready for departure. Center went to grab some of that pie that Downwind cooked today.
Duke 216 November, Roger, just taking the 7 power wind. At Troutdale is not even on my screen. Portland winds 270 at 3, runway 25, clear to takeoff, turn right, heading 010.
Clear for takeoff, runway 25, we'll turn right 010, 262 November. Alright, 010.
Seattle Center, good
hello.
evening. Premier 24 Kilo Charlie of Portland runway heading 2,500 for 9,000.
Premier 24 Kilo Charlie, Seattle Center, radar contact, calling and maintain 16,000. Clear to battleground.
16,000 right bottom, 4 Kilo Charlie.
Let's see if we can get it lined up here. just roll right into it. Sometimes my takeoffs are even worse when there's no wind. You're just used to kind of leaning against it a little bit. When it's calm, it's kind of funny. I have a hard time keeping it straight. Alright, 120, there's rotation speed, and we are off. A little bit abrupt there, sorry about that, passengers. Gear coming up. Begin our turn here. There's 500 feet. We're going to bring the flaps up. And yeah, starting to see some of that night lighting. Bring the power back just a little bit.
Duke 16 November, primary target observed, verified transponder on.
It is now 262 November. Yeah. Maybe it isn't. Oh shoot, it isn't. I'm sorry, it's not just yet. Let me get leveled out here and I'll turn it on my sim. I had it turned on in the V-Pilot. Alright, hang tight here. Autopilot heading, yaw damper. What's our climb rate? Yeah, it doesn't need to be quite that much. And we were supposed to be squawking 66 73. Where's my first officer? He's supposed to be checking stuff like that. 66 73. I hear that I'm getting close to overspeeding. 73. Alright, there we go.
Duke 16 November, radar contact, time was 3,000 initially, say altitude.
And we're through that, unfortunately. 4,200 for 262 November. Yes.
16 November, roger. Again, radar contact call. Calling plane 6,000 and turn left heading 290 for your sequence.
Up to 6,000, left 290. Sorry about that, 262 November. Alright, left 290. Well, so much for it being a smoother deal. Yeah, I forgot to set that. I forgot to set the altimeter. I just forgot to basically...
And Duke 16 November, squawk code is 6673. Reset transponder select 6673.
6673, 262 November. There's always that one guy. I'm telling you. I'll get back to the chat here in just a second. Let's just make sure we're getting where we need to get. So it looks like we're going to get here, and gotta make sure I level out. I do have this arm, so hopefully, yeah, there we come. Looks like you kind of get out here and you probably pick up the same traffic flow of Portland. But look at that. That's
Duke 16 November, say direct battleground. Visual navigation.
direct battleground, 262 November. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Okay. So battleground. I'm picking up some kind of funky VOR or something, I don't know. Let's spin it around, let's figure out where we're going. I'm not getting anything here. Why am I not getting anything? Do I have to have this all the way on? Maybe I do. So now it's saying... Okay, well, we're having some issues here, ladies and gents. Luckily for us,
system test okay.
We are heading direct battleground right now. Does this have 16.6? Yep, 16.6 into both of our frequencies. Oops, I don't need to go that way. We were supposed to be on about...
16 November, 6,000 final intended altitude.
If that works for you, that's what we had planned, yes.
60 November, Roger, no, that's perfect.
Boy, for some reason I'm getting nothing here. So let's fire up the backup nav 2 here and let's just see what happens. That guy's coming alive at least. So we're supposed to be, well, I say that now. There we go. So it's telling us about 270, which is where we have it pointed here. Okay, well, we're going to have to use nav 2 tonight, it looks like. Did I not get something turned on down here? I mean, it's been a week or so is all. I really lost it that much. 25 miles, closing fast. I'm going to bring the speed back here just a little bit. Be closer to about 2,000 on the RPMs. Alright. Well, okay, guys and gals. Now we need to head 329er. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to tune in. Makes me nervous to fly this approach now. Olympia 113.4. Put it in both radios and see if there's just something about Battleground that nav 1 wasn't liking. No, it didn't do a single thing, did it? Oh, that's because I put 112 for 113 for. Nope, still nothing. That's interesting. Get back over to the chat. I bet Downwind Sim has some ideas here. 346 is our intended outbound heading. 346. Boy, we turned a little early, didn't we? Oh, no. Sorry, I was looking ahead here. 329 is our outbound from Battleground, so 329 right there. Yeah, we were maybe just a skosh, actually a skosh late on the turn, so let's head over here. Alright, back to the chat here. Let's get it caught up. So Downwind is, oh man, suggesting all kinds of cool things in the Portland area. There's a water park with the water slide coming out of 747. Oh man, that's my kind of gig right there. Is the CDI slave to the GPS? No, it shouldn't be. I've never had to have this on before. I don't know why. Make sure I don't have something turned off or something. That's happened to me before. That looks fine. The comms are working fine, so I don't know why this is. Well, I guess it's good to practice. I don't do this very often. When I'm in the DC3, I always make sure I've got the second nav radio tuned in, but I'm usually using it to track the outbound VOR. And so, but tonight we're going to use it kind of as our main navigation. So that'll be all right. Trying to get back to the 329 outbound radio, and we're just not quite getting there. We're tracking due north. We're just not catching up to it. It might be moving slightly, but not a whole lot. Wind at 6,000 feet. We're 303 at Niner. So the wind should actually be helping push us back towards that track. I think we just ended up getting a little too far. I don't know.
Duke 16 November, I
We're all
just
over
a
the
little off
place.
course. Suggest a left turn to about a 310 heading to re-intercept the 329 inbound course to Olympia.
Yes, sir. We're having some trouble with our comms and our nav radio. So we're trying to troubleshoot that. We may request a return to Troutdale here if we don't get it fixed in the next 15 miles or so. 262 November.
216 November, Roger. Planning 330 for now. We can just relay back to you to the airport unless you're going to declare an MEL and need to return.
Okay, 330. Yeah, we'll call you back here in just a few, see what we can sort out. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm gonna just see. Let's get everything loaded up here. I'm not gonna do anything with the. Yeah, I'm not gonna put the IFR flight plan or anything here, but I'm gonna put 113.4. I'm just gonna put that in here. Just cycle it. Just make sure. 134. Just make sure there's nothing crazy going on here.
Contact. You were instructed to fly runway heading twice by the power controllers. I've just
there's the
confirmed,
ticket.
Did you miss that instruction twice?
VLOC. Aha, haha.
I was one person
Oh man.
supposed to do direct battle.
So yeah, I feel like an idiot.
845, it's called a battleground BOR, but no, I clarified with him that he never told you that. So
Well, okay, let's.
Climb and maintain on 6,000 and just do whatever you're doing, because that seems to be what you do. You're doing that.
But wait, no. Yes, okay.
Sorry about that. 844.
So that's a good heading for us. All right, let's lock in our nav.
Prepare 14 and Charlie, you're going to be off course also. Is everything all right, sir?
He's having a heck of a time with us. Do I know this controller? Watch, I probably do. They try to encourage me, Downwind Sim, to come out and fly.
Prepare 14 and Charlie.
It's like,
Battle,
okay, no, I don't know. I don't know that. Yeah, it's, what's that movie with Bruce Willis? Come out to the coast, we'll have a good time. Yeah, man. So yeah, you know what? You had it right, man. The CDI was slave to the GPS and not my nav radio. Not my VLOC. So, alright. We're going to check back in with Center and let him know we got our nav issue figured out. Center 262 November.
69.
It appears we've got our nav issue sorted out. Unfortunately, the Duke is not idiot-proof, but got the right button pushed. We should be able to stay on track now.
Okay, Duke 16 November, Roger. If you're just Olympia VOR, clear direct and then join the Olympia 2 arrival.
Clear direct Olympia VOR and join the Olympia 2 arrival. 262 November. Okay. Die hard. Right? Die hard. It is, and it's, so here's what I did, Downwind. I was more worried about checking out and comparing side by side the flight plans, and I didn't have my checklist out. So that's, you know, you saw it. I didn't have my squawk code entered. I didn't have the right altitude, and that's why you always, even if you've flown your plane 1,000 times, you always use the checklists. That's our lesson for today. Are we seeing much here? Kind of out of the city lights. Pacific Northwest scenery, though, is nothing to shake a stick at. Alright, well, I feel better.
844, you appear to be off
48.
course. Judging by how things have gone, I'm just going to give you a vector. Flying 320 and clear to the
I think that was it. Is that a shot at us? At me? Is that a shot at me? I think it was.
Fly heading Z2084.
And yeah, I deserve it. All right. Well, that guy's behind us. He's in a SP50. Is that the Falcon? He'll probably be eating us up. We do have a PRM1 in front of us. What the heck is that? I don't recognize that airport code or that airplane code. Okay, well, while we got 45 miles or so, it's time to pull up our arrival. Okay, yeah, we're out of Troutdale. We want to go into the Boeing charts. We want the Olympia 2 arrival. We're going to go ahead and just overlay that right in. We're going to take a peek. So we're direct right now, Olympia 13.4. Yep, that's what I see there. That's what I see there. And I see that we're on the VLOC. Once we get past Olympia, we're going to be turning to 022 and actually heading right here to Fort
American 2647, verify the CV of the arrival.
and we're going to be, once we get to Fort, so that's 26 nautical miles from Olympia, so we'll track that radial outbound at the 022 outbound radial, and then I'm sure we're going to be heading, well, I'm not sure, but we're either going to be vectored 343 or 070 around the SeaTac area. Now, will I be able to do it? That's another story. I thought we were supposed to have, well, now it's saying broken at 4,300, overcast at 6,400. Yeah, because we can't see diddly. No matter how we slice it. Not going to be able to get much of a thumbnail for this flight here. I will get one when we're coming in. I'll put the links that Downwind Sim has shared with us. I'll put them in the video description when we're done, because I think they're going to be worth trying out. I don't know how to click and save or share those like some other guys. I have a hard enough time just
16 November, Olympia, altimeter 3007.
3007, 62 November. A hard enough time just flying from one VOR to another tonight. Now I'm seeing perhaps more pie in your current, I was going to say near future, but is that what I'm seeing there downwind? The second helping? See the little waterway over there.
American 2647, I show you got 181, 176 now knots over the ground. So you indicated airspeed?
181.
2647, yeah, our VNAV is acting about a reprogramming as we speak, American 2647.
Okay, American 2647, roger. There are other autopilot modes in the aircraft. I'm pretty familiar with it, just to let you know, so you can control your aircraft when it's not complying with what it's supposed to instead of blaming the VNAV. Turn rating 01 and descending speed 3000.
010 down to 3000.
Salty. I can't say anything. I've already made like 4 mistakes just in the first 50 miles of the flight. Here I was thinking short flight, you know, it'll be all good. But no. Take a peek though. We've got some decent traffic up here in the Seattle area. There we are. A couple guys ahead of us. Oh, this guy's also going in to Boeing.
260 November, contact Seattle approach 25.6.
Alright, Seattle approach for 262 November. Thanks for putting up with us, man. We'll see you next time.
Have a good one.
2560 is plugged in. There we go.
One's arrival or the freight arrival? The crater arrival is an RNAV arrival.
Don't have an ATIS for Boeing Field.
738, Roger. You can expect that. I'll have it clear for you momentarily.
Seattle approach. Good evening, Duke. 262 November at 6,000. We're on the Olympia 2 arrival with the weather at Boeing Field.
Roger, Duke. 262 November, Seattle approach. Thank you very much for the weather information. Maintain 6,000. You can expect ILS runway 14 right ahead.
Expect the ILS 14 right, 262 November. Okay. Let's check that out here. Stay at 6,000. We have 24 miles, so we have time to look at this. Stay at 6,000. We'll be ready for our 022 departure here. In fact, we'll put that in right now, so we don't forget. Lord knows we forgot enough tonight. There'll be our departure from Olympia.
738. You are clear to the Portland International Airport.
ILS.
Radar vector.
Say 14 right or 14 left?
Uniform. Whiskey. Zulu.
Is there a 14 left?
And the hell is both.
I just mishear. No, 14 left. Yeah, little guy.
Expect 1 to 12,000.
Sweet.
1 minutes after departure. Departure will be with me. Block 1542.
How do you shoot that though? Because this is the ILS 14 right.
November 4 Kilo Charlie, your altitude.
What the world? How do you do that? I don't know how you do that. I'm going to just get a little bit of clarification there.
Boeing 738, read back is correct.
How are we doing? We still have 20 miles, so we're good.
Ready to taxi.
I'm sure he said 14 left. Approach 262 November. Am I hearing things? Oh, he's calling it a night. Downwind Sim says, since I got the CDI issue right, maybe I get another piece of pie. Well, if he doesn't come back on, here's what I'm going to do. We do have Seattle Tower, I guess. I think we'll shoot the IFR, because I don't see, I don't see an ILS. I don't see an ILS 14 left. So if he's gone, if he's out of there, let me just confirm with Sky Vector. Is there an ILS 14 left? No, there is not. Oh, there he comes back. Alright, we'll ask. Seattle approach, 262 November with question.
262 November, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Just going to confirm which runway approach we are to expect.
Do 262 November, you can expect the ILS runway 14 right into Boeing.
Okay. Okay, thank you. ILS 14 right for 262 November. All right. So back to, what do we got? 12 miles. Plenty of time.
Boeing Boeing.
So we need to make sure that we have 110.9 plugged in. We need to make sure that our approach course 135 is ready to go.
November 2 for Kilo Charlie, turn right heading 350.
Right turn 350 for Kilo Charlie.
All right, and then we'll hold off until we make our turn, and then we'll put in our approach heading of 135. I'm trying to think. I don't know if I've landed at Boeing Field. Every time I'm up here, of course, you're flying into
and
Seattle,
November
Tacoma.
2 for Kilo Charlie, turn, continue your right turn to heading of 010.
Right turn 010 for Kilo Charlie.
Stuff just wanting to peek out at us. Hoping we get a little bit of Seattle cityscape. The Seattle cityscape is not as well lit as Portland. Orbix has actually made a Portland cityscape. Now, Dusky design.
62 November, fly heading 350, this will be Vector's ILS runway 14 right approach, maintain 6,000.
350, maintain 6,000, 262 November. Dusky design has a scenery pack for Seattle, and I'm guessing. I mean, it's the airports are very well detailed. I'm guessing it's the same for the city, but I'm always nervous about the frame hits when it comes to a big area like a city. I mean, an airport's one thing, and I can feel the airports when I get in. You know, it gets a little sluggish, so I just worry about a whole city. Plus, I have some other things I would rather purchase. But, okay. Enough chit chat. 135 is going to be that approach heading. Let's get it spun around. And let's get our frequency swapped over. 110 decimal. Holy cow, I'm having a night. 110.9.
Yeah, approach, just at 172 Charlie Foxtrot Tango Papa Juliet.
There was a wise man that said, check, double check, and check again.
Cessna 172 Tango Papa Juliet, Seattle approach.
We have put that advice into action. Not enough tonight, because we should have double checked a couple other things, but
8 miles east of Tacoma International at 5,000 feet.
110 decimal 9. I see it there. I see it there. 135. I see it there. I see it there. Okay, we've checked, we've double checked. And downwind, Sim is checking
Charlie
again.
Foxtrot Tango Papa Juliet.
And I just want to verify.
There's Seattle.
Tango Papa Juliet.
Nope, that's not Seattle. Where is Seattle?
November Charlie Romeo 71 Seattle.
So the Seattle Airport X, it comes with 5 airports, doesn't it?
731 Seattle Pro.
Got it pulled up here. Yep, comes with SeaTac, of course. Payne Field, Boeing Field, where we're heading. Renton, and Auburn. We flew into Auburn and Renton the other night.
Right turn 110.
So yeah,
14 right, localized. 4 kilo traffic.
5 airports in the package. It's a pretty good deal. I mean, you always look at the price, and it's always a little bit more than what you normally want to fork out. It's normally this is $42, 43 bucks for the Seattle Airports X. We picked her up the other day on sale. It was 30% off, so it was just a little over $30.
National Cargo 731.
And yeah, 30 bucks for 5 airports. That's a pretty good buy.
I'm sorry, direct what? And
I kind of buy.
Directed Bozo for National Cargo 731.
We also have one of the New York airport packs. The one, I think it has Newark and Kennedy and feels things like Teterboro, LaGuardia, and Kennedy, and those are fantastic, really great airports.
November 4, Charlie, descend and maintain 2000.
2000, 4 kilo travel.
Charlie Foxtrot Tango Papa Juliet, radar contact 1 miles east of the Seattle-Tacoma Airport, and you're intending to land at SeaTac, is that correct?
Okay, well, I've got a minute.
Charlie, you are 5 miles
We're gonna just take a quick look at our airport information and see where it is we're wanting to go. FBO, if they've got it. Looks like the GA stuff is down here, left-hand exit. So we'll probably get 10,000 foot runway, so we'll probably be off here somewhere around Bravo 4.
You are 3 miles from Muskogee, maintain 2000 until established, cleared ILS runway 14 right approach.
Oh, there's a GA
Alright, 2000
terminal up there as well. Yeah, we'll just kind of take our pick once we get on the ground. I'm thinking a right-hand exit from 14 right.
Is SeaTac International, correct?
Tango Papa Juliet, my destination is Tacoma International.
SeaTac.
Okay, Tacoma Airport is Tacoma Narrows.
Oh.
Seattle International is SeaTac. Is your destination Kilo Sierra Echo Alpha?
Affirmative, I'll keep as I file.
Verify that. Verify your altitude is 5,000 at this time.
It's 4,000.
Is that a Premier one? Is that what that is? PRM1?
Roger, Charlie
those little
Fox,
short
Papa Juliet, you are cleared in the
business
Seattle
jets, man, those things are slick.
Airspace. Enter a left downwind, runway 16 center.
Roger that, I'll be entering left downwind, roger. Runway 16 center. Tango Papa Juliet.
Yeah, these guys are kind of the only game in town right now. Everybody's pretty worn out after last night's event. It was
November 4 Kilo Charlie, wind calm, runway 14 right to the wind.
I think it was a full 8 hours of ATC coverage last night. Pretty impressive.
Seattle approach. Paris, November 75844.
At one point in time, when I was flying anyway,
November
49 of the 50 states, all 48 of the lower contiguous states were lit up, and then Alaska as well. I don't know if they were ever able to get anybody down at Hawaii or not, but it was pretty impressive. Well, we're a little past. I think we should start to get some vectors heading us towards Boeing Field, and probably start our descent here before too long. Actually, I say that. What do I have up here? That might be okay. There's that little Space Needle thing, and that's pretty close to where we're heading. Honestly, I may just not quite have the SeaTac rendering just yet. Oh, wait a minute. There, I think that might be SeaTac.
Duke 62 November, descending to 4,000.
4,000, 62 November. Alright. Pull the power back a little bit.
November 75844, fly heading 3.
And make sure we're not descending at 1,500, which it likes to do.
And verify the current SeaTac weather.
Another victim of not doing the checklist. I didn't ever put the prop sync on.
Fire runway heading 350. Weather, I need to get it really quick. Sorry, 844.
Roger.
Landing lights coming back on.
Right now. Advise if you can get that, if you can't. I'm sorry.
Good looking.
Information is current now.
Good looking airport down there. What is that?
I can read that off to you.
PWT.
Charlie,
Bremerton National.
Papa Juliet, contact Seattle Tower.
Bremerton National. That's got kind of a non-default look to it there. The way it blends into the scenery here. Oh, now I'm hung up a little bit. Bremerton. That looks all right. That's promising. Getting down closer to 4,000, we'll feed a little bit of power back in. We don't have to get crazy with the power here. This thing does slow down fairly easily. Whoops. I want to go around. I don't want to go. I don't have a view out there, I guess.
November 4, Charlie, taxi to parking, remain at frequency.
Alright, parking with you, Fort Castro.
Alright, leveling out at 4,000. Just fed a little bit of power back in, and you can see we got up close to the overspeed line there in a hurry. This thing is a missile. On the one hand, it really, really goes. But on the other hand, when you get slow, it's a brick. I mean, it just comes down now. So you really have to fly it all the way to the ground. And you have to keep a close eye on the speed. I like to keep it right about 180. We start the descent. Like you about 140. Okay. Tacoma Narrows. Oh yeah, the famous bridge that wobbled itself apart in the 1940s. Yeah, that's crazy. How about the earthquakes in this? I mean, it's a little further south of California, but man, oh man, those poor people. If it's not an earthquake, it's a wildfire. If it's not a wildfire, it's a mudslide. Feel for those guys. Well, there's the Seattle downtown area. The other thing I was hoping we might pick up is maybe a little late fireworks display. I was going to get out and fly late on the 4th, but barbecue kind of took precedence that day. So I haven't seen anybody that's posted any good fireworks displays. I know there had to be some. It's no fun when the ground moves, Downwind Sim says. Yeah, I can only imagine. We get that a little bit where I live, because we live near Yellowstone Park. But I can honestly say I've only ever felt one earthquake in my entire life, and it was just enough to kind of. I remember I was on a second floor balcony, and I noticed that there were some lights that were suspended, and they were just kind of swinging back and forth just a little bit.
I'm sorry, Beechcraft 16 November. Disregard. Let me try this one last time. 16 November. Descend and maintain 2000.
2000, 16 November. And I remember that kind of caught my eye, and I'm like, what is going on there? Because usually around here, if something's blowing hard, if something's swaying, it's because there's a window open and the wind's blowing. But about that time, as I was looking at it, I felt just a little bit like wobbly kneed, and I realized that the whole platform that I was on, that whole balcony, was just jiggling just a little bit. Nothing major, nothing that was knocking anything off the walls or anything, but yeah, it's just, I remember just at the time feeling like, man, you just have no control. You know, it would be hard to run away.
November 3rd, right heading 040.
Right turn 040, 262 November. Because you just have no coordination. I mean, you're
Other aircraft calling Seattle approach again.
Yeah, so I feel for those people. I hope everybody's okay. I heard there's injuries in this last one, and you just pray that everybody's okay.
One more time.
Looking to go on the general aircraft ramp and land at D44.
All right, making our base turn.
Okay, so you're talking off of taxiway Tango between runway 16.
And that answers the question, by the way, of the traffic pattern, the approach pattern into Boeing Field. They keep you well west and well north of what's going on. I mean, we're over here somewhere, I think, but far enough away that my scenery rendering is not picking it up just yet. Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll pull that power back just a little bit, see if we can't get it down around 140, 150. Pretty happy with the new machine. It's not the most powerful GPU in the world. It's a 1060, but it's a far improvement from my old one, which was geez, I don't even know, 980 or something crazy like that. It was like a first generation GTE or GeForce, and at the time it was sweet, it was awesome, but as you know, gaming, especially flight sim, man, it really advances in a hurry, and it's not long before your machine just really struggles to keep up with everything. Okay, speed's coming down nicely.
Beechcraft 2 November, turn right heading 110, join the runway 14 right localizer.
Right turn 110, 62 November. We are below the glide slope. And on the rollout, maybe we'll see some runway lights. There's the city. Just don't have a great view. Clouds look pretty cool right there.
62 November, you are 4 miles from Isagi, maintain 2,000 foot established, cleared ILS runway 14 right approach.
We'll maintain 2,000 and cleared for the 14 right approach. 262 November. Thought I was gonna make it the whole
November
flight
844,
without screwing it up.
010, distance 4,000.
Turn right heading 0
Alright.
0.
So downwind is.
4,000.
Oh, hey, hold on here. Approach.
Affirmative,
Late,
in the
I
heading
went past it.
9.05,
Downwind sim is saying that he
010.
demoed some VR
844.
at a Microsoft store in Portland, and that prompted him to build his new gaming PC. Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's only money. It really is, and it's. I don't know. I only have a couple of hobbies anymore. I don't really golf anymore. I've had back surgery, so I'm afraid to swing a golf club. I love to fish, so that's where half of my extra spending money goes. And I love to do this. I love to relax and simulate flight. I used to tell my wife it's way cheaper than the real thing, but I don't know. $100 a lesson to get your PPL, and then a couple hundred a month
60 November, I'm sorry,
to lease a plane.
Wind calm, runway 14 right, clear to land.
14 right, clear to land, 262 November. I don't know, maybe that's way cheaper than the. I know, I'm just trying to justify it to myself, okay? Just trying to work with me here, downwind. No, I think honestly, as expensive as getting the PPL is, and it's a pretty penny. I mean, it's going back to college and getting yourself another degree, essentially. I think the part that gets you is just flying the planes, paying for fuel, paying for maintenance, paying for rentals, paying the lease. All that stuff is just what chews you up over time, and that's the sad part about it, because it really would be nice to be able to fly to the spots that you want to fly. I have not checked, by the way. Go around procedure here. We are going to we're going to climb out 1500, then 6400 on the IBFI southeast. We're going to get out to the Blako intersection and hold there at 6400.
Clearance back to Portland.
Okay. Time to get down to flap speed before our glide slope grabs us. And I see some runway lights here. It looks like we may be actually getting close to where we should be. Hey, that looks pretty cool. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Alright, we're gonna start our descent. Keep an eye on that speed. It's getting a hair low. VREF is about 100. We're on the glide slope. There's the first notch of flaps. Things are looking good. Man, that looks beautiful, doesn't it? Holy cow.
Number 844, turn right, heading
Here's the gear.
070.
Turn right heading 070.
I love that little shake when the gear locks. That's awesome. You can control that in the config panel. You can take that off if you want. I'm like, no way, that's awesome. Alright, second notch of flaps, and I'm ready to fly this bird. Our lights are on. Prop sync is off. Flaps down. And landing gear down 3 green. Speed looks good. Plane coming in off of our 1:32 o'clock looks cool. Thinking about apple pie. Getting a little below the glide slope. Add in some power, yep. Didn't see that. That was the apple pie. Distracted me for just a second. Oh, there's a little stutter. Something blowing me to the right here. A little bit of a left crosswind, even though it's calm on the ground. Alright, glide slope's coming back in. Speed's still looking pretty good. Part of me kind of wanted to shoot that 14 left. 1,300 feet, that's, or 3,000 feet, that's plenty for this plane. Hey, we can get up next to that Falcon. Let's see how well the AI renders that. Getting a little slow here. Let's just feed in a little power.
Island 6 arrival.
I'm gonna have to get crazy here.
After departure, maintain 2,000, 17,000.
Drifting to the right still a little bit, I don't know why.
Departure will be with me, block 1575.
Alright, there we go. Threshold.
Alright, 4 Charlie clear to Portland, air record Buzo, then the file, the on 6 arrival.
Yeah, a little wobbly, but not too bad.
17,010. Departure's going to be with you, and 1575.
We're going to roll her down here a ways. Try to exit
Charlie, read back is correct.
down here by this plane again, just see if we can see if we guessed right. Plus our GA is way down here anyway.
Expect him to full right, 4 Charlie.
Coming up on Bravo 6, is Bravo 6? Bravo 5, that'll work. So, let's see, a little stuttery in the frames. Not awful though. Let's turn it off here.
November 844, turn right heading 130.
And we can turn the landing lights off.
Center of low visor.
Keep the taxis on. Yes, it was a Falcon. Look at that. That is rendered nicely. We're going to go park over by that guy and act fancy. I would say it's kind of like our big brother, but it's not. It's a 3-engined. It's that genetically superior. He parked backwards, so I'm going to park backwards. Park right here, next to him. Wave at the captain. All right, well, taxi lights
November 8-4,
off.
you are 6 miles from
Parking brake is set. We're going to go ahead and power down. And we appreciate you tuning in.
Miles maintain 1000. Ryan, approach 844.
Let's just take a quick peek outside while I tell you about what we've got coming up here. Got to clean up the flaps. Let's do that real quick while we're talking. You know we're going to do something tomorrow. Again, we're generally on about midnight Zulu, which is around 6 p.m. Mountain Time where I live. Don't know yet what it'll be. We'll just kind of see what's going on ATC wise, and that's kind of what I like to do, just base my flight on where we've got coverage and something interesting happening. Monday coming up though, we will be hanging out with Rob from Slant Alpha Adventures. He's doing his lower 48 state tour in his Beach Baron 58. Say that 3 times fast. And he'll be out in the Great Lakes area. So we're going to go hang out with him. I think he's going to be departing sometime around 0000 Zulu, midnight Zulu as well. Then Tuesday they've got the main event. It's a GA fly-in up there in the Boston ARTCC. We're actually going to fly from the Heron's Nest to Bar Harbor, and we're probably going to be in the the Beaver, the DHC to Beaver, and so again around midnight Zulu. And then next Friday, the Friday Night Ops is it's a summer sizzle down in Dallas Fort Worth. We're gonna take one of our tube liners and fly from Denver down to Dallas Fort Worth. I think I maybe have GSX working finally.
November 844,
so we're gonna take one of those, either the 737 or the DC-8. We're gonna fly down there to Dallas Fort Worth, and then Saturday ZTL is putting on an event in Atlanta, and we are going to fly whatever we don't fly on Friday. We'll fly on Saturday from Miami to Atlanta. So that's kind of what we have planned. All of those, again, midnight Zulu. We'd love to have you join in if you feel like it, or just tune in if you want to distract me with delicious recipes or be my first officer. Downwind Sim, I appreciate you hanging out again. You came in handy again today. You've earned your pay, man. You've earned your pay. We've got to get together, and we've got to do a group flight one of these times. We'll get there. We'll get Ken in here. We'll get Rob. We'll get all those guys, and we'll take our Barons, our twin props down somewhere to the Bahamas or something like that. But until then, I think we're going to call it a night. Hope everybody has a great night. Take care. God bless.